Oh, what's going on, boys? It's Tuesday. Oh, man. It is Tuesday. Good day. Good day to you all. Welcome to the Child of Mecha live stream. I'm your host, Tim, the one and only Child of Mecha. Got my mic on, got the light on, got everything rocking and rolling here. Man, slept good last night. I'll tell you what, boy. Woo! So yesterday, picked up Renee from the airport, hurried out of here and did that. Went to her parents' house. They had a Memorial Day shindig, and for those of you outside of the U.S., yesterday was it was a national holiday. It's called Memorial Day. It's kind of like it's the unofficial start of summer. It's also kind of the day that we remember fallen soldiers, things like that. It's one of those days where everybody, well, not everybody, but most people have off and spend it with family, doing some cookouts and celebrating and stuff like that. So that's what we did. They had a cookout and they had a bunch of family over, and so we went down there right after I picked her up from the airport. Stayed down there, hung out with them, had a good time, came back here. And I'll tell you what, man, as soon as we got back, I was out. I was out. 100% out. I had only gotten maybe 2.5 hours sleep not last night, but the night before. And man, I was just dead ass tired, and she was too. And we fell out, and yeah, I got like 14-ish hours of sleep. So yeah, I'm feeling good right now, you guys. I'm feeling pretty good right now. So she's out walking the neighborhood right now and everything while I'm streaming, and we're gonna get some shit done today. So only stream of the day. Thank you for tuning in. I see, let's see who's with us. We got Bill with us over there on YouTube. What's going on, Bill? Thank you for being here. Brandon's with us. Brandon, are you still out in the boonies? My goodness. Enrico's with us as well. Good deal. Orfeo, he says, hello, everyone. I am off. Nice. Tim is here, and we can enjoy in one of the nicest. Aw, couple folks show. Let's go. Let's go. Brandon says, going to work on that scribing stuff today, Tim. Yes. Yes, sir. I was trying to get the shield done up and everything before the stream quickly, and I almost made it. I'm on the last scribe here right now, so we're gonna finish that up, and then we are going to kind of decorate this thing with some notches and stuff like that. And what I figure is we'll do is a few different style notches, and then maybe just a little plating here and there, just some little minor details on this thing. Yeah, I figure that's what we'll do. Yeah. Hey, R. Deebs from Panama. What's going on? He's over there on Twitch. Very cool. Thank you for tuning in, man, from Panama. Awesome. I'll tell you what, man. The folks down in South America, man, they are dedicated. So that is awesome to see. Like, I know, yeah, so we have Javier, come from Uruguay. We have Barack. I know he's from South America. Enrico, are you from South America? I'm not 100% sure. I don't know where everybody's from most of the time, but yeah, awesome. Well, thank you for tuning in, R-Deeps. Appreciate that, man. Central America. Okay. Gotcha. South and Central. Yeah. All of that. Super dedicated folks, and I love that. I love seeing that. Well, that's awesome, dude. Thank you for tuning in. That's pretty freaking cool. Just to see, people tuning in from all over the place. You know what I mean? Like, it's just really cool. You know what I mean? Because, like, I'm sitting here, in the U.S., just not even thinking anybody's going to be outside, you know, outside my time zone. And then, you know, you get people tuning in from all over the world, and it's just a cool feeling. It just really is. I don't know. It's just really, really cool. So anyway, that's awesome, dude. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate that. Yeah, Enrico, he's from Uruguay too. Nice, nice, nice. Awesome. I thought so. I thought so. Very cool. Very cool. Let's catch up and everything here. Brandon says, no, I had to come home early Sunday when we got the call about, oh, yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that shit. I'm sorry. In more ways than one, I'm sorry. Eesh. Yeah. Sorry, B. I forgot about that, buddy. That's my bad. That's my bad, dude. Anyway. Brandon says, I brought in my little piece of styrene to work on the 0 parts given stuff on lunch, hopefully. Nice, nice. Well, dude, again, take your time with that. There's no rush. Or did you post already? I don't even know. I didn't even have a chance to look at the community yesterday. Let's take a look and see. YouTube. Ooh, man. So just as a sidetrack, so I follow what is that? The Variant Comics on YouTube, and they're doing like their pieces on the absolute DC universe, and they've got a video up now of Absolute Green Arrow, and he looks terrifying in an awesome way. So I'm gonna have to watch that later. I'm gonna have to watch that later. That looks cool as hell. Now, mind you, I don't buy comics or anything like that or any of that stuff, but yeah, I watched the videos and stuff, and it's just really freaking intriguing. Holy shit, look at Giovanni's gun cannon on there. That looks dope as hell. Ooh. Yo, I don't know if Giovanni's in the audience right now, but man, that looks cool as shit. If you guys if you guys don't look at the community on YouTube, definitely check it out. That's freaking cool. So he's doing a master grade gun cannon, and I'll tell you what, man, he's doing the regular kind of normal red. He's got accents in gray, but then he's got these other accents in like a burgundy, kind of crimson color. Ooh, that's a good look, man. Oh, that's a... Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, the more I look at it, the more I dig it. Wow. Okay. Yeah. That fucking works. That works really well. Holy shit. And what oh man, what he did to the knee pads, oh, that looks really good. Holy. All right, hang on, you guys. I got to comment on this on this post. Wait a minute. Ooh, yeah, that looks killer. Man, that is so freaking good. All right, you guys got to go check that out over on the YouTube community page. It's so good. It's so freaking good. Man. Anyway. Holy crap. Okay, cool. Sorry, you guys. I had to comment because it's really, really good. Really good. Let's see. Enrico says, from the north, unlike Javier, who's from the capital down south. I gotcha. And then Orfeo says, because of watching your stream, I got myself Ulfa Blades, the Choppa, nice, And of course, it went on from there. So listen to Tim, guys. Not once did he miss to answer my questions on Messenger. Oh, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Always. Always. Let's see. Charles is with us. The one and only legend over there on Twitch. He says morning, afternoon, everyone. Charles, how are you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Brandon says thank you. It was expected. She got into hospice a few weeks ago, but it happened fast at the end. Yeah, it always does. Long life, lots of grandkids and great grandkids. That is awesome, dude. Well, I mean, you understand, like, the life that she lived was awesome, right? That's what I mean. Anyway, that's what I mean. Enrico says, love the color separation on Giovanni's gun cannon. Hell yeah. And it looks like Gio just joined us here too. Gio, that freaking gun cannon, ooh, buddy, you are cooking on that. I love the look of this thing. The burgundy and red and the gray. And it's, dude, that is super clean too. Like, fucking golf clap, buddy. Golf clap. That is tremendous. Tremendous work. Let's see. Enrico says, my favorite mobile suit since I was a kid. So cool to see people give it some love. Right? And Gio's definitely giving that some love. Oh, can you screen share? Yeah, dude. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Hang on. Let's see. Go back here. Display capture. Let's make it visible. Yeah. See, look at that. Look at that. Freaking cool, man. And look at the. Oh, that's, I guess, what is it? Side of the thigh. There's the forearm. Side of the calf. There's the knee pad right there. So you're seeing it from a side profile. Man, that looks so good. The outline of the burgundy, just it works. It works so well. And then obviously you got the back, and yeah, look at it, the burgundy middle stripe there up to the elbows. Oh man, and then the gray accents on the back. That just, it's subtle, it's simple, but it works. It works really well. And this right here, this is great. This is great. This accent here on the top of the chest. I mean, it's super subtle, and it also really accents and calls into focus the decals, because the decals, obviously they're nice and white, and you obviously, you have the EF cross and everything there, and that just, since it's darker and the decals and everything are lighter, it just sets it off and makes those pop really, really good. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. I'm here for all of it. Every little bit, I'm here for it. I'm just, 100% I'm here for it. So good. So good. Anyway, man. Gizmo, Jonathan, what's going on? Good morning. He says, Tim, on Twitch, move to the miniatures and models category. You're on Model Builders, which is a game about building models. What? Well, ain't that some shit? I didn't know that. Well, I'll have to do that. I will have to do that. Hey, look at this. Okay, so I'm not getting Twitch alerts, unfortunately, because Stream Elements sucks, and I have to switch over my alerts because I multi-stream, right? So I have to switch over my alerts to what is it? StreamerBot. There you go. I have to hook them all up on StreamerBot. But hey, Pandalope Hatake, thank you for following. I appreciate that over on Twitch. Awesome, good stuff. Appreciate that. But yeah, Jonathan, I'm gonna do that because I did not know that. I just saw model builders as the category, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense, right? But yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. So thank you for the heads up on that. It's kind of embarrassing, but it is what it is. Let's see. Brandon says, I apologize now if I go to all caps my work is doing right now. Needs all capital letters and I might miss turning it off. Nah, it's cool. Just yell at us. Let's see. Gio says, hello everyone. Missed yesterday's stream. I posted whip pics. Yes. Working on the backpack and weapon. Nice. Let's see. Ardeebs. What is his handle on YouTube? Yeah, it's this one right here, Ardeebs. Giovanni. What is that? I'm gonna butcher your last name, Giovanni. Cuevas? Cuevas? Yeah, I think so. 9917. Ravens just drafted a tight end with the same last name, Cuevas. So that's the only reason why I'm even have a chance of pronouncing it correctly. So go figure, right? But Ardeebs, if you go to YouTube and you go to my you go to my YouTube channel, I have the community section up, and that's where he posted it, is in the community. So hit the community on my YouTube channel and you'll be able to see it. Sort by newest, and it's right there. Oh, it's lovely. It is lovely. That's a leftover project from last year. Still, dude, really good. Yeah, and look at this. Look at all the comments for Geo. Very clean color scheme. Yeah. Super clean. Flows fantastic. Hell yeah. Gary's with us. What's going on, Gary? Hello, hello, and happy Tuesday, y'all. Hello. Geo says I'm used to Mecha Decals. Ayo! Nice. Enrico says, nice contrast between the dark paint and the decals. Hell yeah. Orpheus says, I have that game. Didn't try it yet. Oh, the model builders game. Yeah. I didn't know. Oh, man. Gio says, thanks for the compliments. Now I can't wait to finish. Dude, yeah, get on it. Chop, chop. Let's go, Gio. We need to see the finished product, buddy. Juno? So, dude? Oh, man. And I don't know if you guys noticed, Juno posted in the community the mother of all 1, 2, 3 blocks. That fucking thing is massive. So I guess what he had his he works in a fab shop, fabrication shop or something like that, I'm guessing, right? And he had his welders like weld up this massive block of steel, and this thing is huge. Like, dude, how big is that thing? Like, it's just like I couldn't even get over the size of it. Like, that thing, like, you need 2 hands just to move it. The thing must be like 20 pounds. Like, it's crazy. Oh, dude. Gary says, I love the Mecha Decal pop-up. You like that, right? That's what I do. He said, dude, it works so well. I can't believe I never thought to use it. He says, oh, you're an engineer. Oh, that's why. Okay, that makes sense. That makes total sense. So he's an engineer, went down to the shop and asked them to weld it up. It's like 20 pounds. Oh my God. Dude, again, and this is in the YouTube community over there on, obviously on YouTube, because I said that just a second ago. Like, anyway, but, oh my God, 20 freaking pounds. Like, you gotta like heft that thing around, right? Like these little guys weigh maybe a pound or 2, but that motherfucker's like massive. Holy crap, man. Oh, dude, that's awesome. But yeah, he posted pictures of that monster in the YouTube community, so go check that out as well. Gio says, you got it, Tim. You can land a real chopper on the 1, 2, 3. Right? On that monster thing. Hell yeah, dude. Oh, that's cool, man. That's really cool. See? I love it. I love all this shit, man. I love all of it. Like, everybody's kind of getting tips and tricks and stuff like that. And it's not like, obviously, you know, you're watching my stream, whatever. But it's like people are getting ideas from everybody else too, which is really cool. And that's, yeah, that feels good. That feels really freaking good. So that's why we do what we do. So, all right. Anyway, shake it off. Popped a couple caffeine, because I don't do coffee. right? I don't do coffee. I don't like coffee. I can't drink coffee. So I popped a couple of caffeine pills just before the stream to just kind of get me woken up, and they're starting to kick in. So starting to feel the tinglies and stuff a little bit, and it feels fucking amazing. So like focus is locked in, the whole 9 yards. So yeah, we're in good shape. 1 second here, you guys. Okay, cool. So just got a text from Amber, so I wanted to make sure that everything's good. But yeah, she's awesome. All right, cool deal. You guys, she graduates in 2 days. 2 days. 2 days. Anyway, moving on. Camera 2, let's go. All right, so if you tuned in to yesterday's one and only stream, you saw us scribe in, let's see, where's the light? Where's the light? Come on. Yeah, you can kind of, I don't know, the light's not going to catch it, is it? Maybe a little right there. Oh, yeah, there we go. If I twist it and turn it, you can kind of see the pattern that we scribed in. Along there and then along the front, and you see this is my favorite part right here. This long panel line that runs parallel to the red, and that right there is a 0.3 where everything else is 0.15, right? So you have a different width, you have a different panel line width, just for, you know, visual differentiation. You know, just a little bit of aesthetic pop, just a difference, right? And I think it works really, really well. It just runs down the side parallel. You know, this whole part, this dark blue, is going to be like a dark, really dark gray in the final color scheme. And then this red part, I figure I'll paint that white to really just make it pop. Really, really high contrast. The rest of the shield, this will be the copper color of the Shiki to kind of match that. And yeah, I think that's going to look really, really good all together. And then obviously, you know, the internals will be kind of a shade of gray, you know, stuff like that. Yeah, man, it's coming along really, really well, and I'm digging how this looks. And I just need to finish up this one panel line, and then we'll get on to the notches, because I know notches are one of those scribing topics that don't get talked about a lot in general scribing conversation, right? But I think it's an important part, almost equal in importance to scribing lines, right? Or panel line design, or, you know, any of that. Because what notches do, it adds a bit of added realism, you know, to your, you know, kind of scribing job, right? Because essentially what they do is they represent the presence of a latch or something that holds the panels in place, or, you know, something, you know. So when you look at, you know, really, 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 you know, highly skilled people with chisels, and I'm talking, you know, your Japanese builders, you know, like, and I'm going to reference some people on Twitch, like Ryu. If you don't follow him, if you're not on Twitch or X or whatever it is called today, if you don't follow Ryu, he's one of my favorite Japanese builders. His scribing is just absolutely out of this world. It's so clean, it's so perfect. His use of asymmetrical details is just chef's kiss. It's breathtaking. You know, when you talk about, you know, folks like Josh Dara, our friend from Australia who's been an MIA for years, but just going back, and I go back and I look at some of his pieces for inspiration and stuff, and it's amazing what that kid did with a chisel. Again, asymmetrical details and notches and things like that on different pieces and stuff, and it just works so freaking well. So all of those guys use notches as a contrast to just the lines. Because if it was just the lines, it would be boring, right? So notches, in my opinion, are a very, very integral part to that, right? Bill says a different strength of gap. Mind the gap. There you go. He says, I love notches. They're so tasty. Wait, I'm thinking of nachos. Well, notches can be tasty too, right? Exactly. Exactly. All right, let's actually go to super zoom. All right, let's get this in camera. Yeah, and you can kind of see there that pattern that we have on the side there a little bit, right? So that's looking pretty good. But like I said, just gonna finish up scribing this fatty 0.3 line here. And I'm just kind of getting this to depth right now. There we go. And like I said yesterday, what you're really looking for when you're scribing, see these little ribbons, these little curly cues, these little deals here, these little kind of pigtail looking things, that's what you're looking for. That's really what you're looking for. Because this is showing you that you've got a really, really smooth line. Because that's just the shaving from the actual notch itself, right? That's what you're looking for. That just, yeah, that's perfect. So let's turn this around, go from the other side. Kind of clean out the debris from this end here. And just a couple more passes and I think we'll be to depth. Get those little ribbons out of there. There, all right. So what I'm gonna do now is just peel the tape off because I think we're at a good depth for at very least that. But let's take a look and see kind of how deep we're going. All right, that looks pretty good. Okay, a few more passes and I think we'll be done. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I think that's where we'll stop. Oh man, okay. So let me see something here. Okay. All right, that looks good. What's the width over here? Yeah, that looks fine. Okay, so first major mistake here in placement. All right, so this sucks. So we're gonna have to fix this. This long panel line, it doesn't meet up to the corner here. This corner right there. It's maybe a 1/4 millimeter off, but you can see it. It's easily distinguishable, and then when this thing is panel lined, you'll be able to even see it even more. So, shit. What we're gonna have to do, and I'll go ahead and do this right now to show you guys how to do this, is we're gonna fill that in with some super glue, and yeah, I mean that happens. It's common. So, you know, you measure twice, you carve once, and it still can happen. So, c'est la vie. All right, so basically I have my little palette and I put a little drop of super glue on here, and I just have kind of like a Sharpie kind of scrap piece here of plastic. And I'll put this up here so you can kind of see as well. There we go. And what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of get some super glue right on there. And just dab that right there in the line. Just like that. And that should be enough right there. All right. And now, oh, it'd be good if it was actually on camera. There you go. There you go. And I got a little drop there. That's perfectly fine. We can scrape that off later. It's not going to hurt anything. But now I'm going to put a little kicker on it. There we go. And that's spread to both, so that's perfect. And we'll let that do its thing, because basically what's going to happen is that's going to crystallize the super glue really, really fast. It's going to activate it, right? And then what we'll do is we'll come back, clean this up, rescribe our line. Everything will be good to go. So we'll just give that a few seconds here. Let's get caught up here real quick. Let's see, where did we leave off? Enrico says Spanish-speaking modelers should greet each other in the evening by saying buenas noches. Nice. Oh man. Gio says Josh has a video on how to implement panel lines and how to implement a design. He goes into detail about on how to make it make sense. Oh, absolutely. And let's see. And Juno and Enrico are speaking Spanish. Very cool. Enrico says, that happens. Yeah, you know it is. Oh yeah, Robbie Pla. Yeah. Robbie over there on YouTube. And then what is it? Japanese guy, Studio Rahito. I mean, he literally makes artwork with his chisels. He does tons of sculpting and things like that into plastic and all. Just really, really, really good stuff. Yeah. Robbie has great tutorials on symmetrical scribing, even though he has been, I guess, inactive the past few years. Yeah, I noticed that too. He hasn't posted much in the past here recently. So yeah, it's one of those things. Life gets in the way. So, all right. So this should have had a chance to crystallize the super glue. So we're just going to wipe off the excess activator, kicker, whatever you want to call it here. Just get that wiped off there. Yep, and there we go. We have our completely 100% cured super glue there. So that's exactly what we want. All right, so now let's get the blocks back into camera here. All right, so first things first, cap your chisel. Chisel discipline. All right, so first things first, we're going to get this portion here just kind of just scraped off, and I'm just using, yeah, and that just popped off, so that's easy enough. And then we'll just kind of scrape off any excess there. Now that's gone. That's perfect. All right, so now we're going to do basically kind of the same thing with this filler spot too, right? So we're just going to come along with our knife. We're just going to follow the surface, and you see there how we're just taking up the top portion of that. That came up real nice and smooth. So now we'll just scrape that down nice and smooth. Just feather that out, and there we go. Yeah, so you see how I made let's see, right there across that line. You can see it kind of in the light there as the light passes right there. Perfect. See these kind of scratches here that I made with my fingernail? That means that it passed the fingernail test. It's 100% smooth to the surface, and we're in good shape. So that's exactly what we're looking for when it comes to a fix like this. So that came out really, really nice. So now what I need to do is get the corners back in here, because obviously the super glue flowed into the corners and some of the other lines here. So first things first, we're going to get those restored. I'm just digging that out there. And you want to be very careful because, you know, since we've already brought this line to the depth that we want to make sure we're not going any deeper on the actual plastic and that we're just kind of scraping out the super glue. So very, very careful in terms of that. And as you can see, just very, very short passes. And my finger is basically right down on the tip of the chisel. You can see how I'm holding the chisel here, and that's for stability. And that's very, very important when it comes to stuff like this. There we go. We're at plastic. Okay, cool. And you can feel when you get back down to the plastic, it has a different tactile feel under the chisel. So that's perfect. All right. So now let's turn this thing around and let's get this line cleaned out. This shouldn't be too hard because we're at a bigger scribe line right here. Yeah, see this line right here is, there's basically no super glue in that that shorter line. So let's get our bigger chisel here, our 0.3, and let's kind of make sure this, there we go, just drag that out there. All right, so now those two corners are super clean. That's where we're gonna have our connecting line meet up to one another, right? So real quick, let me measure this side here as opposed to this side. I think we need to come out a little bit more. Yeah, just a little bit. We need to come out maybe another 0.5 millimeter on that side. Now, obviously when we're talking 0.5 millimeter, 0.15, 0.3, etc., it doesn't sound like a lot, right? It doesn't sound like hardly anything at all in real life terms, but in scale for this, oh man, it could be a few feet at that point, you know? Comparatively, obviously not in scale, but still, you kind of get the point. And visually, like, you can see the difference between a 0.5 millimeter and, you know, nothing, basically. So that's important. That's very, very important. All right, let's see. And we take it just a little bit more. I don't want to push too much, but just a little more. There. So I think my main problem before was this line right here was not long enough onto the surface. Now I'm measuring from the corner, this corner of the surface, right? I'm measuring from that, and that's a solid 2 millimeter. Just a little bit more. Okay. Yeah, that was my issue. That was my issue. Okay, let's check it now. Solid. Okay, cool. Now we have our lines all evened up here. Let's get a piece of tape so we can connect these lines properly now. All right, there we are. Perfect. Man, it was whoo-hoo. Man, those caffeine pills, man, they are kicking right now, buddy. Woo, I'm feeling it good right now. All right, so corner to corner. All right, placement is everything. All right, there we go. That should be good to go. Let's see what we have here now. Everything else so far on this shield has matched up perfectly. Just adjust that just a little bit there. There we are. Light passes just to get the line set. There we go. All right, let's pull this tape and see what we've got here. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Much better. Much cleaner. And it's connecting corner to corner. And that looks pretty damn symmetrical too from the other side. Cool. And I'm just kind of looking down the length of the surface here sometimes just to see where everything matches up, and that looks like it's matching up really nicely. And it's crazy because the line that we just scribed in as opposed to the mistake line is only about a probably 0.5 millimeter in difference in terms of placement. So yeah, it's big when it comes to this scale. There we go. Very nice. Okay, cool. Yeah. All right, perfect. I'll show you in just a second here. All right, so there is our fixed line, and you can see just below it the shadow of the mistake line, and that's literally how far we were off, right? But like I said, the corners didn't come together. And you were going to be able to see that. But there, I mean, you can see how nice and symmetrical that whole pattern looks on the surface, right? That's exactly what we're going for. And those big old parallel lines right along that red detail there, just set that off so freaking much. Yeah, that looks so freaking good. All right, cool. Let's get caught up real quick because I know there was a lot of chat going on here. Let's see. Whew, boy. Yeah, it's kicking in. Enrico says, just to explain to him, we'll start actually saying Buenas noches with Juno. Fair enough. Fair enough. Handren's with us. He says, huzzah! Good afternoon. What's going on, Handren? Gumpa for Joy is also with us. Good morning, afternoon, crew. What's going on, boys? Handren says, Tim, how is the holidays with Renee so far? Everything okay? Yeah. Everything's perfect, man. Like I was telling everybody yesterday, well, earlier today, but yesterday, good day. Long day, though. Long day. Picked her up at the airport at about 1. We went to her... Let's go back to camera 1 here real quick so I can talk a bit. Went to her parents' house. They were having a shindig cookout thing yesterday with the family, so that was a lot of fun. And then they live about an hour and a half from my house, so coming back, we didn't get back until kind of later in the day. And then we both were just zonked, her from traveling, me from only getting, Jesus, little plastic pieces floating in the air. And then me from only getting like 2.5 hours of sleep the previous night. So I was up cleaning and, doing shit and, getting the house, prepared for her visit and all stuff. So yeah, I was tired, and we zonked out at probably 8, 9 o'clock last night, and I slept pretty much all the way through. So yeah, it was a good day. It was a good day. So yeah, so good stuff. All right, now what time is it? 1 o'clock. Sweet. So we got an hour. Let me get rehydrated here. Man, I'll tell you what, those caffeine pills are just kicking my ass right now. It feels good. It feels really good. Kind of got like the tinglies and everything like that, and I'm like just super focused and locked in. Yeah, really good stuff. Anyway, let's go back. Let's go back to Super Zoom. All right, so back at it. Let's see. So we've got our patterns scribed into both sides here, right? And the one thing on here you can see is that little sinkhole right there, right? If you turn this around, that's where the peg is on that other side, right? But and I don't know if you can see it on the other side. We might have scraped it down. Yeah, we did. So we scraped it down on this side, but we still need to do that on this side and get rid of that. And yeah, you can see the two little dots right there and right there, right? And of course, there's pegs on that side. So that's what those sinkholes usually are. And you can also see down here at the bottom kind of how there's some kind of sunken in spaces. Well, if you turn that over, those were strips that I had cut down as well. So yeah, we'll get those eliminated once we go to sand this whole thing. It's not a big deal right now. So yeah, we'll get that taken care of here. Henry says, just got some organic coffee at the Pilot, and it is the shit. Me, I would just call it shit because I don't like coffee, but I get it. I get it. Let's see. Henry says, I usually fill up the sinkholes with CA. Yeah, I just sand them off, scrape them down, all of that. I mean, it's so thin. That little sunken spot. I'd be afraid that the CA would just pop out, so one half dozen or another. It's, there's many different ways to end up at the same, the same thing. So, Enrico says, I'm glad I've never liked coffee because I feel I drink way too much otherwise, right? Oh man, that's funny. Life Death, what's going on, Dallas? He's with us. He says, hey y'all, what's going on, buddy? And for those of you just joining us, I highly recommend going on to the YouTube community and getting a look at Gio's gun cannon, his master grade gun cannon, because it is awesome looking. The color combination that he used, the red and the burgundy, and the accents of gray, are just really awesome. So for those of you just joining us, I know we talked about it kind of at the top of the show. Definitely go check that out on the our YouTube community. It's right on the YouTube page. Hit community, filter or sort by newest, and you'll see his right up at the top. And it's pretty awesome looking. So highly recommend. All right. So now let's get to the subject that I wanted to talk about today, and that's notches, right? So with this shield, we're gonna go fairly symmetrical because it's one piece, right? There's not a lot of room for asymmetry when it comes to something like this, but we can still add some really interesting looking notches here. All right, so for this, start off with the little latch notches, and those are the simplest ones. Those run perpendicular to your actual lines, right? So when we talk about something like that, when you look at something like, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see it too well here, but right around the rim of this, you can see right there, there's a little perpendicular notch, and then also right there, and then you spin that around, and there's one right there too, right? You can kind of see it in the light there, right? So that's what I'm talking about, those little itty bitty parallel notches. And usually I only go about 0.3 millimeters, for those types of things. So we're gonna do some of that here. So first and foremost, let's plot these out. And what I try to do is don't put them on the corner. They just never really look right when they're on the corner. So I always try to go in at least a millimeter and a half from a corner. So that's what we're going to do here. So one right there, and then one right on top of here. We're just going to put that in the middle of that line right there. And yeah, see there, you can kind of see the pencil marks of what I'm talking about. And that's basically going to represent the latches for that particular, for this particular panel. Now I don't want to do any across this line, this top line, because it's just too thin. And I don't want to necessarily take away visually from, the actual red piece here. So we're just going to do the same thing here on this side, just right there. And right about there. And you want to also space these out fairly evenly too, right? Because like I said, they represent latches, right? And latches will normally be spread out very evenly across a panel, right? So there's that. That's looking good. All right, so now let's see what we're gonna do. We're gonna work along this side here, and let's see, are we gonna go above or below? Let's go above, and I think that'll work. So we're gonna put one right there. We're also gonna put another one right there. Nice and simple. And then we'll run a few along this panel here. So let me get this kind of at a good angle. Here we go. And I'm thinking one right there, One there. 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 Just one right down here. That looks good. And then we're going to, I don't know what we're going to do with that little diamond shape there. And then down here, just one right there. So there you can kind of see, yeah, oh yeah, see the light's picking that up real nice. That's lighting those pencil marks up, right? And that's going to be real nice. That's going to be real nice. Yeah, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. All right, let's see. Let's get caught up with the chat because I know you guys are talking a good amount here. Let's see. Hendren says, good brother, on the road, drinking coffee, waiting on a load to be ready to pick up at Home Depot distribution. What about, oh, talking to Dallas, I gotcha. And then Orfeo, here we go. He's got a question for us.
We have a question.
He says, when masking hell comes in painting, do you paint the inner frame and do you protect connection points? Also, do you paint parts underside that won't be visible? Pardon my French. Oh no, man. Great question. Let's go back to camera 2 on this so I can kind of show you a little bit better. So what I do is I prime everything, all parts of the part, right? I'll prime underneath, I'll prime on top, everything. Inner, outer, what have you, everything I'll prime. So like here's, the outer part to one of the, tops of the legs, right? So obviously I'll prime all of this, and then I'll also prime underside too. And what that's going to do is that's going to protect all the parts from, any panel line liquid that may get underneath of a part or something like that. Now, obviously, we want to try and prevent that as best as we can, but it's going to happen, right? So to protect that, I prime everything, all parts. Now, when it comes to painting, what I'm probably going to do is, obviously paint the part that's visible, paint the edges and everything, and just kind of around the underside. I'm not gonna paint, the core inside or anything like that. But I'll feather in, probably a few millimeters, or so, 4 or 5 millimeters inside, the part where it's not visible. Obviously you want to paint up to, this edge here at minimum. But then I'll also come in and paint to about there, right? Just so that any part of that may happen to be visible, that's still going to receive paint and it's still going to look, complete at that point and consistent, right? So that's what, I kind of do when it comes to painting and priming and all of that. So, yeah. So good question. Good question. Dallas says it's going good. My oldest had his preschool graduation. Hey! Today I've also been hard at work on the master grade Zaku gunner build, adding plate to it to increase the dimensions. Very nice. Well, congratulations to your preschooler. That's a big thing, especially for younger kids. So that's awesome. That's awesome. Let's see. Looks like Hendren and Dallas are talking to one another about his Zaku gunner. Let's see. Enrico says, you should post some pics on Tim's channel community. Yes, definitely. 100%. Yeah, 100%. So we can all see it. Yes, absolutely. Hendren says, I'm telling you what, man, these distribution places are the worst. All right. Let's see, Tim. We have a question. All right.
We have a question.
It's been a long ass time since I painted ABS plastic, just double checking on Mr. Service Primer. It shouldn't damage anything, right? Absolutely, 100% no. Great question. Great question. Yes, Mr. Surfacer will absolutely be perfectly fine on ABS. I painted ABS with, or primed ABS with Mr. Surfacer many, many times, especially on the Hummingbird. The Zeta Plus inner frame is all pretty much ABS plastic, and I primed that 100% with Mr. Surfacer, and I use Mr. Surfacer 1000, but the higher grits should be perfectly fine as well. It's the same mix, it's just different grit. But yeah, 100% should be perfectly fine to paint or prime ABS with all of that. Yeah, Henry, you should be perfectly fine. So yeah, go with that. Yeah, go with that. Excuse me. Gunpla for Joy, I second the prime everything tip. Yeah, absolutely. You got to protect your parts, especially when using panel lining fluid. That stuff right there, panel line accent color. This is enamel, so obviously it has enamel thinner in it, which can, not will, but can, if pulled or not cleaned up in a timely manner, can make the make the plastic brittle. Jesus, the brattle. There you go. That's a new word. It's brittle plastic. It's brattle. Fuck's sakes. Anyway, but yeah, if you use this like I always do, you gotta protect everything, and that's what that primer coat will definitely do. It's almost like, if you think about it, it's the same way that if you look at like military machines, they prime everything 100%, and that's to prevent like rust and oxidation and things like that as well. So yeah, that I take that same kind of philosophy. Prime everything, prime it all. That little bit of primer that you're essentially wasting on the unseen parts is going to pay off. It's going to be worth it, and you're talking pennies at that point in terms of primer. So it's totally worth it. Prime everything, 100%. Prime everything. Couple for Joy, that panel line fluid is nasty stuff, LOL. It can be. It can be. But, excuse me, like I said, you don't want it to pool in any given area. You want to try to avoid it seeping underneath other parts, because, again, that'll make for brattle plastic. Jesus Christ. And so, yeah, you want to protect your parts as much as possible. In all of the models that I've ever produced, I've only had it do that once, and that was with the Hummingbird. And it was the little fins on the bottom of the boosters. And yeah, I had to replace one of those because I was a dumbass and let it seep under, and I was trying to hurry and everything. And again, that's kind of where your attention to detail comes in, your patience, which is super important. So yeah, it was user error at that point. But yeah, it absolutely can be nasty stuff. Just got to be careful with it. Just got to be careful with it. Yeah. Brattle plastic, brattle plates, brattle plastic. There you go. Have fun with it. Yeah. Gio says, I used Tamiya primer, but when I used it on the inner frame of the real grade Shin Matsunaga and the perfect grade Exia, some of those parts became soft, gummy kind of soft. That's weird. Now, let me ask you this, Gio. There are different kinds of Tamiya primer. Do you remember which type that you used? Because if you use the L, the Tamiya Fine L, that's their lacquer-based primer, and that's the same, basically the same thing as Mr. Surfacer. Now they have what is it? They have primer for what is it, Lexan? Like the RC car bodies or something like that. And that is a completely different different product. And I've heard that that shit can cause problems. I don't know firsthand. I've never experimented. But yeah, I know Tamiya has several different kinds of primer. So that may have caused, caused that in part at least. I don't know. But Handren says that happened to me way back in 2012 when I did the Master Grade GM Kai. It happens. It happens. All right, so Dallas, okay, I posted pics. All right, let's see. Real quick. Let's go display capture. Oh, there we go. Look, there's Geo's. Geo's gun cannon. Hell yeah. All right, let's get a refresh here. Oh, we're still on. Okay. Oh yeah, Gunpla for Joy, look at that. Yo, that looks awesome, right? Very cool. All right, let's go back. Because I think we were specifically on Geo's here. All right, sort by newest. I don't know why it doesn't do that automatically. Here we go. Ooh, okay. All right, let's see here. Added 4 millimeters to the legs overall, 2 millimeters to the waist, 1 millimeter to the arms, 1.5 to the neck. The weapons are a work in progress. First time building scratch-made weapons. Nice. The guns are from No Grade Dynamis. Okay, okay. Let's see. Sharpen the horn and the edge on the lower half. Oh, yeah, look at that right there. That looks good. And then right here, that looks good as well. Yeah. Dallas, let's see. One thing, and I can't, obviously you can't freaking zoom in for the community posts, at least on the computer, which is really annoying. You can do it on the phone, but you can't do it on here, right? In Dallas, one thing that I would say, and this may be the light and maybe the shadow or something, but right along the edge here, this inner edge, it looks like it's sloping down a little bit right there. That's the only thing I would say to look out for right there, because you want that to be a nice consistent line down there, and it feels like it's sloping there. Now again, that may just be, you know, the light and the shadows playing tricks with the picture, but definitely go back and maybe look at that and just to confirm. But yeah, that may just be the light and the shadow, you know. But down here, it looks like, is that maybe edged right there? That looks good. Okay. Cool, cool. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Looking good. Looking good. Nice first steps. I like it. Yeah, and look at this. The reproportioning. The lengthening of the limbs and everything. Very cool. Oh, yeah. See that plate in there to raise that up. Very good. Very good. Very subtle. Easy. Yeah. And then another one here. Even and out. Yeah. Perfect. Nice. Look at the little plates here and here to raise that up a bit. Very cool. Good, good, good. Even, look at that. Even on the arms. You took all of that in consideration. Perfect. Perfect. Very good. Very good. Yeah. Nice. Dude, nice. Good, good, good. All right. Excellent then. All right. Let's go off screen cap there. All right. Good stuff. Let's see. Geo says the white and the gray primer, but I also used Gaia black primer and the same result with the inner frame parts. That's so weird. I've never, now mind you, I've never worked on the real grade or, you know, that perfect grade or anything. So that's so weird that it would do that. Yeah. Let's see. Henry says, nice, looking good, homie. Nice. Enrico says, maybe you can right click and open the pic in the new tab. You know what? Let me try that. I didn't thought about that. Let's see. See, no, it doesn't. It just resized it. Yeah. It looks like they converted to a WebP image format, and it's the same exact size. That sucks. See, but like I said, you can zoom in on the phone. So if you're on your phone, yeah, you can kind of zoom in and really look at it. So, cut it off, sand the shit out of out of sharp, then glue it back up. There you go. Enrico says he's cooking with the styrene extensions, right? Yeah, doing a good job. He's cooking with the plow plates, that is. Shut up, Handren, before I ban you for that. Dallas says the horn looks fine. I think it's the lighting, and that could be, and that happens to me all the time when I post pictures. I'll look at it and I'll be like, that doesn't look right. What's up with that? You know what I mean? And then I'll go back to the part and I'm like, oh, it had to be the lighting. So yeah, no, that happens. That happens all the damn time. But Dallas says, thanks guys. I just realized I messed up on the arms. The right arm is bigger than the left. I'll fix that. There you go. Yeah, but Dallas, it looks like you're doing good. It looks like you're doing really good, dude. So keep moving forward. Well done. And Handren, ha ha ha, Tim. Yeah, Handren, you little son of a bitch. Anyway. Gio says you should see my rail grade Shin Matsunaga. I think it is better than the master grade gun cannon. Oh shit. The armor parts are beautiful, but I can't do nothing with the inner frame. I'll post pics. Nice. Nice. Yeah, let's post it all, dude. Post it all. Hell yeah. Good stuff. All right. Wow, 120 already. We're getting close. We're getting close. All right, so we've got, let's go back to super zoom so we can work here. All right, so we've got our notches laid out here, right? Looking good there. Now, one other thing that I want to do is some floating, well, maybe a floating notch here and there. And I think what I want to do is maybe something, and a floating notch can be a number of different things, right? It can be latches, it can be a hatch itself. They're usually larger than the 0.3, but they don't have to be. They can be very small. They can be a 0.3, they can be even like a 0.2 or something like that. I wouldn't go necessarily smaller than a 0.2 because you don't want it to match your the width of your panel lines. You want it to stand out a little bit, right? So I think what I'm gonna do is maybe a floating notch right about here. Right? Just right there. Below this line here, right? So it's not coming into visual conflict with this line or any of, you know, this angle or anything here. It's far enough away from that to not cause visual conflict. And I don't really want it farther down here because honestly, the sweep of these lines, I kind of want to be in visual, you know, have the visual priority, right? And then down here, I mean, you're getting down to the points of the shield and everything, so that's gonna kind of, you know, be the visual, you know, priority again down there. So I don't want it to be too far away from the top portion here. Even though we have a lot going on, I still think that it's going to balance everything, right? And I think what we'll do is maybe a nice thick 0.6 floating notch right there. Just about 3-4 millimeters, you know, right along that edge, maybe about a mil and a half out from the edge. And I think that'll look really, really nice. And then I think what we'll do, let me see. I think what we'll do, yeah, okay. So then, down at the bottom, we're gonna do what's called a stepped notch. Right there. Right at the bottom, right? close enough in to not conflict again with the corner, but right there at the edge to make that look like, you know, there's latches there. And those will be stepped, so they'll have two different levels within that notch, right? So, yeah. So I think that'll look really good. Handren wants to make a suggestion about the two long parallel lines. Do I listen to Handren, you guys? Let's put it up for a vote. Do I allow him to make his suggestion? Do I allow it? Yeah, what are your suggestions, Handren? Let's hear it. Ah, nose is running. All right, while we wait for Handren's suggestions here. Do it. All right. Well, while I'm waiting for Handren to type out his suggestions, let's get started on the little notches here. Let me show you how to do those here real quick. So 0.3, we're going to do on these little perpendicular notches. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start up here on the top line, right? And these are going to be very, very short, maybe about 1 millimeter or so. So I usually freehand these, I'll be honest with you. Just a few light passes to get the edges set there, clean off the debris. And there we are. All right, pretty simple. Pretty simple. Little bit of debris that we want to get out of there. Get out of there. Come on now. And there we are. Simple, simple, simple stuff. You can see it right there. Right here. Right there, right? Yeah. That looks good. Anyway, all right, let's read Handren's suggestion, you guys. Let's see. Enrico says, listen to him and the court will decide what to do depending on what he says. Oh, shit. That's good. He says, Tim, I would say adding 2 or 2 millimeter side notches on the outside of said lines. One on each side, about 3 to 4 millimeter long notches. See, that's the thing I don't want to take away visually, because these thick lines here, these are thicker than the normal panel lines. These are 0.3 millimeter, right? And I want these to come into visual priority, and I don't want them to be, you know, taken away, because it will have this kind of sweeping kind of effect. And what they're going to do, since they're, you know, running parallel to this and they're going to be darker because they're going to be filled in with panel lining fluid, they're going to draw your eye to this raised detail even more. It's going to make it more of a visual focus, right? And that's kind of what I was thinking with these two long parallel lines. And if I was to have like notches in there, I don't know. It may detract from those. And let's see, 2 or 2 millimeter side notches. That's a lot. That's pretty wide, you know what I mean? Because you got to think. Let me find, where's the 2? Here's the 2 millimeter. I think this is a 2 millimeter strip. Hang on one second. Yeah, this is 2 millimeter strip. So the thing to keep in mind, these lines right here are only about 2.2 millimeters from the edge of this part. So that's how wide essentially 2 millimeters are. and this is a 2mm strip, right? Even if we were to run that parallel to those lines, that's going to be massive in terms of sizing, right? And then even if we run it perpendicular, again, that would be freaking huge. Now, mind you, that's not going to go the whole length of the piece. I'm just talking about the width. But yeah, that's going to be really, really big in terms of scale. So I probably not gonna go with that suggestion, Handren. Thank you for your suggestion, though. Always appreciated, most of the time. Let's see. Let's see. Orfeo, he's got a question for us.
We have a question.
All right, so, sorry, I just saw Handren's. You're welcome, buddy, old pal. See, just what it comes down to, Handren, is I think we just have very different ideas in terms of aesthetics and everything, and that's perfectly fine. You know what I mean? Because that's what makes the hobby awesome, is because we can both have individual takes on styles and everything, and come up with equally cool models. You know what I'm saying? It's just different styles. You know, it's the same thing. If you think about it, let me go back to camera 2 so you can kind of see my grill here. It's the same type of thing. Like if you the clothes that you wear, right? Everybody's got their own kind of individual styles, right? And you know, someone who dresses in suits and, you know, button-down shirts and everything, and just immaculate, just 100% just dripping with appeal and style and everything. You know, that person looks cool on, you know, in excuse me, in their own way. But then you have somebody who dresses more casual, like in t-shirts and shorts or something like that. But that person can look cool in their own way too, right? Two completely different styles, but they still look freaking cool, right? Same exact thing with this hobby. We can have our own individual styles, and at the end of the day, our finished models are still going to both be really cool looking. So that's kind of, I think where we obviously differ, right, is in our opinion of styles, right? So, and there's nothing wrong with that, mind you, nothing wrong with that. Yeah, like I said, we just have different styles, and that's really what it comes down to. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. And that's what makes art in general fucking awesome. And this is not to get off on a tangent. And Orfeo, I know you asked a question. I'm going to get to that question here in just a moment, and I'm sorry that I kind of diverged from it. But let me just kind of say this here real quick for you guys. Art in general is so widespread in so many different styles and areas of discipline that it's just fucking cool, right? Now, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you will probably notice I reshare a ton of shit, a ton of artwork and different pieces of art too, right? Like I'll share like your traditional arts, like painting, sculpting, line work and drawing and stuff. And then I'll share things like, font design, woodworking, guys working on their cars, because that's still at the end of the day art, right? It takes an artistic mind and vision to see that thing through, right? These are all different arenas, all different disciplines, all different styles, and they're all really fucking cool at the end of the day. Like I'll share things, crazy stuff. Like one of my favorite woodworkers, he's a Japanese guy, and he just creates some amazing stuff. And he makes it look so simple. Like I can't even wrap my head around it most of the times, how simple he makes it. But just the coolest shit. And he made this little latch that he created out of wood and stuff like that. And it was just mind blowing. And I was just like, oh my God, that is fucking brilliant. And he just, put it on this little box that he makes, and it was awesome. So, and I share things like logo design and typography and all sorts of different stuff. And that's what, at the end of the day, what it all comes down to is everybody has different styles. Everybody has different, fields that they specialize in. This happens to be my field that I specialize in. And at the end of the day, it's all cool as shit. It's all cool as shit. So, yeah, that's what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to. Anyway, let's get back to Orfeo's question. I'm sorry, Orfeo. He says, let's see. Question suggestion. Oh, okay. Don't you just hear the scratch-built side of the Force calling scratch-build 2 blunt teeth on the front of that shield like you did for the Jesta? Oh, the teeth at the edge. That was a cool part of the Jesta. I was really proud of that because I turned that shield into a weapon. And that was awesome, right? I don't know if I want to do it on this because I feel that in terms of the theme for this Shiki being speed and kind of sports car-ish, I feel the sleeker, the better, right? So I'm feeling like with this shield, right? The teeth on this, the 2 prongs at the end here, really, really good, sharp, kind of fast looking. So I don't necessarily want to deviate from that by, trimming the edges out with, those teeth. But oh man, that was one of my favorite parts to do on the Justice Shield. That came out, I think, really, really well. And like I said, I made a weapon out of that thing. Oh yeah, it was cool. It was really cool. But great suggestion though. Great suggestion. Let's see. Hendren says we do. Me and you way too different. Yeah, exactly. And Dallas says I posted pics of the kit fully together. Nice. All right, we'll look at that here in a second. Enrico says that's something I love about this hobby, which is also seen in skateboarding. Yeah, different styles, right? Different styles. Hell yeah. Hendren says well said. Vast. Yeah. He says this hobby, the roots of it is based in art, right? Person has to be artistic, some shape or form in order to like and perform well in it. Exactly. Mecha PR, what's going on, dude? He says, I remember a group that modified a Gundam based on art, and it was wonderful. Like that art, later send you the link. Nice, dude. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, there's so many different styles. Like, some people like the, like straight up anime look, right? No technical stuff, no decals, just straight paint and that's it, right? And they like the look of that, which is perfectly fine. I'm on the other side of the spectrum. I like a more realistic, technical look. Yeah, I mean, people have all sorts of different styles. I mean, shit. There's that one guy who paints like little portraits and stuff on like the shields and larger panels and stuff, and he's insane. I forget the name of the dude, but he's on Instagram. I think I follow him. But just crazy stuff like that. And it's all different styles. It's not my style. I would never do something like that. But that's his style, and it's awesome, So, different strokes for different folks. Hey-o. Anyway, all right, let's get back to it. 20 minutes. Let's get moving. I know we've answered some questions and we talked a lot and went on some field trips and stuff, but let's get back to this, yeah? All right, so we've got our first little perpendicular notch in here. Let's just do one more for the peanut gallery so that you guys can see. And, like I said, I just freehand these. Now, you guys can freehand them if you want. If you want to try it, go for it. But just make sure
Everything's nice and straight, perpendicular, nice edges, corners, all of that have to be on point. Oh shit, let's go super zoom. I'm sorry. Andrew says LOL the peanut gallery, right? I love it. I love it. I forget who said that first. But yeah, I love the peanut gallery term. It's so good. I think it was George. If I remember. I think it might have been George. Old school Gunpla. All right. There we go. Very good. All right, let's get the 1.5 in here so we can clean out the debris from the actual lines. Here we are. Yeah, there we go. There we go. All right, let's get the light on this thing here. There, yeah, see, there you go. See, that looks real nice. And once that's panel lined in, man, those will be nice and subtle, but it breaks up the line really nicely. And that looks, yeah, that looks great. That looks great. Yeah, that's money. That's money. Money. Oh, man. Whew, my nose is running. All right. Excuse me. All right, let's see. Dallas says, oh, shit. Dallas says, I don't like weathering, but I can appreciate the work that goes into it, right? He says, I wouldn't do a weathered kit. I like metallic inner frame. For me as a must, people have different opinions. Exactly, right? Exactly. And that's kind of what I'm saying is like different strokes for different folks, right? Oh, look at this. Henry says, like, we got insulted, haha, first by George, then by Tim. I mean it as a term of affection. Come on now. He says, LOL. Brandon says, streaming midday tomorrow. Ah, good question, Brandon. No, tomorrow is only going to be a late stream, an evening stream. So yeah, that'll be tomorrow night only, not during the day. So yeah, yep, good question there. Dallas says, I love clean builds, but I also really love down and dirty builds. Yeah, exactly, right? And I'm kind of the same way. I really love clean builds as long as they're really clean, right? And that's kind of the sticker of it all, right? They gotta be clean. They absolutely have to be super sharp and clean, or else it just loses all appeal to me. You know, the basics have to be down perfectly and all of that, because, you know, with clean builds, you can't hide anything. You can't hide mistakes. You can't hide imperfections. So if you're going to build clean, you got to build super clean, right? So, yeah. Oh, that's right, Dallas. I posted some size comparisons. Let's go back and see. Hang on. Let me go back. Let's get the community refreshed. Here we go. Let's see. Sort by newest. Oh, wow. Okay, let's go on a field trip. Let's get the, do I not have, shit, I don't have the screen capture in this one. Hang on. All right, there we go. Here's display capture. All right, so cool. So, wow, yeah. Much taller than the stock build. Holy crap, dude. Yeah. Much taller. Yeah, look at that. Holy shit. Okay, that's looking good. Fix the head pose. That looks cool. Hell yeah. Fully assembled-ish. Nice. Nice. I like it. I like it. Are there more pictures here? Yeah, there are. All right. Good. Good, good, good. Yeah, better. Oh, yeah. See, now it looks straight. So yeah, it was definitely the light and the shadow. I guess it might have been the shadow from the helmet maybe shining on there, but yeah, that's super straight now. So yeah, much better. Yeah, really good. Yeah, see, it's weird. It curved. It looks like it's curved right there. Like I said, it might have been the angle, but there, perfect. Yeah. So cool. Very good stuff, dude. Very good stuff. Excellent. Excellent. Hell yeah. Let's see. Enrico says, I love combining scratch building and detailing with dioramas and weathering. It's a lot of fun to build. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah, Henry says, look at noise. Enrico also says, great job. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right, let's go back to Super Zoom. Let's do this floating notch, yeah? Now, what I want to do, since this whole shield tapers down, right? I want to run this floating notch in parallel to this edge, right? So to do that, we've got a bunch of this 1.5 millimeter strip here, and I'm gonna actually, do we go 1 or 1.5? Decisions. And that 0.5 millimeter, that makes a lot of difference. You'd be surprised, but that makes a lot of difference. Yeah, we're gonna go 1 millimeter for this. So real quick, let me get a piece of 1 millimeter cut here. Oh, I couldn't have worked out better. That was right on top of the stack of scribing jigs. All right, so we're gonna raise that up here. See, I got some space under there. Let me get back in here. So we got some space, and we're gonna push the tape all the way up to the edge, and then come down, press that into place, and really kind of hold down. We're gonna be pushing down on the scribing jig, right? And just make sure that's nice in there. And then just run our knife right up against that. A few passes. Try not to let it slip. There we go. All right, so now, here we are. We have a nice 1 millimeter strip. So that'll work. That will work. All right, let's see if that is kind of where we want this here. Yeah, that's perfect. All right, so we don't need this whole length of strip, so we're gonna cut this in half. Try to make it as even as possible, just so we get, you know, some good adhesion out of this thing. All right, so let's get that off of there. And I want the cleaner of the two edges, so I'm going to go with this edge right here on the inside. All right, and then we're going to lay that right on the edge of the piece itself. Just get that put into place. There we are. Make sure that's nice and right on that edge. I'm looking down this way. I'm holding it, you know, kind of directly on from my eyesight and just seeing kind of where that lies, and that looks pretty good. All right, cool. So now we want to do a little measuring. How far are we coming down from the line? About 5 mil? 6 mil? 6 mil. Yeah, we're gonna go down 6 millimeters from there. Pencil. Ruler. And we're gonna mark this. So I'm marking it from the existing panel line, right? Because we know that's looking good. So there's our mark. That's where the start of this floating notch will be, right? All right, and then again, we're gonna go 0.6 with this guy. 150, all right, we got time. So, we're gonna turn this around here, and we're gonna start at the top edge. And we're just gonna go light passes. And we're just setting the corners. With these floating notches, setting the edges and the corners are an absolute crucial thing to do, because these do not hide. These are front and center. So if you got messed up corners or messed up edges, or the thing's not straight, people will notice. I will notice, and I will ridicule you. I won't, but still. Attention to detail. All right, there we go. We've got our top edge set. And that's all I'm worrying about in this beginning stages. I'm not worrying about the length of it or the other edge. I'm not worrying about any of that. I am worrying specifically on this top section and making sure the corners and the edges are perfect. There we go. And if you were to look at this notch right now in like a cross section, you would see that it basically slopes up, because like I said, I'm getting the depth and the edges set in on this top side and not anything else. All right, so there we go. All right, let's get the other edge set. It's looking pretty good. See all that debris in there? That's what we got to get out of there. There we go. All right, so now we've got both of our edges set, and now we need to smooth out the bottom and just get that all level, right? So There we go. Just kind of going back and forth a little bit, very light scraping on both, and that really helps to even out the edge, the bottom portion, I should actually say. Okay, we're almost there. There we go. Now we're one smooth level. Okay, I think that's where we're gonna stop. Let me take a look at this thing. Nope, actually that's not where we're gonna stop, because it's still a little high on this bottom side here. That looks good. Okay, let's see. Cool. I'm just kind of looking at trying to look into the notch here and see if it's the same level, and that looks pretty decent. Let's just get a little bit of more smoothing going on here, because I'm not fully happy with it yet. Okay, let's check to see what we have now. Okay, that looks flat. That looks flat. That looks pretty damn good. Okay, let's get a little sandy going here. Heyo! Rami Deeb, what's going on, buddy? Thank you for subscribing. Appreciate that. Hell yeah. Very nice. Very nice. Welcome. Welcome to the family. All right. That looks good there. Let's sand these little perpendicular notches here. Yeah, it's hard to see though, isn't it? Oh, other side. Yeah. There you go. Nice little floating notch right there. And then you see our little perpendiculars. Those are easier to see because the light catches a little bit better on that. Oh, see, there's the light on the floating notch. That looks good. Yeah. Still hard to see. I wish I could get like super tight onto it. Even like with Mega Zoom, it's still not the clearest picture because I'm enlarging, even at the 4K, I'm still enlarging the frame. So, but yeah, those look super nice. Very good. I'm happy with that. I am happy with that. Now, it's 2 o'clock. Okay, so we're gonna finish up here. We'll move on to these stepped notches tomorrow, tomorrow evening, and yeah, so, but those notches look really good, so you kind of got an idea of how to do at least those two for today, so that's pretty nice. Let's see, let's get caught up here right quick before we head off. Let's go camera 2. Let's see. Brandon says, made a community post explaining 0 parts given. Excellent, excellent. So we got to get on that. So you guys go check out the community page on the YouTube channel. And yeah, because Brandon, like I said, Brandon has a great idea about kind of doing some practice work and stuff like that. And then also kind of bringing that together, you know, kind of with a simple build kind of down the line. So yeah, so we're going to go through with that. So that's going to look really, that's going to come together pretty nice. So yeah, go check out his 0 parts given post on the community if you have a chance and take part. Definitely. Hell yeah. Let's see. Dallas, what are your plans for the chest? You know, I haven't really given much thought to the chest as of yet. Because here's the chest part, right? I don't know. I definitely don't. Here, let's get the shield out of the way so I can kind of rest this here so I can point to it. I definitely don't like these kind of molded in details here, like this bit here. And then if you can see, where is it? Right up here on the shoulder, that weird little indent. And I think they got, yeah, you got one down here on the corner there. I'm probably gonna fill those in. I don't like those. I don't like those at all. And then even on the side of the top of the chest here, you kind of got that. And then right here, yeah, right on the corner here, you got kind of this little triangular thing going on here. I'm not into it. I prefer to put in my own details, honestly. Yeah, and then you have some circle indents right here on both sides of the chest, and I'm not with it. I'm not with it. So I'll definitely eliminate those, but in terms of anything else, I haven't really given it too much thought. Chisel discipline, kids. Always. Chisel discipline. Cap your chisels. So, all right. Excuse me. All right, kids. So, with that, we're going to wrap it up here for today's stream. Only stream of the day. We're going to be back tomorrow night, evening only. We're not doing a daytime stream tomorrow. We're going to go evening only tomorrow. So 10 to 12 Eastern US time. So keep that in mind. And we'll continue on and we'll kind of show you that stepped, the stepped notch. So that's a little bit more complicated. We'll get into that tomorrow. That'll be 1 millimeter wide, so it'll be a nice chunky boy. So yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good. All right, so you kids, have fun for the rest of your day. Go build something cool. Be safe out there. All right, and I will see you guys tomorrow evening. All right, take care, you guys. Bye.